An engineer at OpenAI was stuck in meetings all day, back to back with no breaks. By the time he checked his dashboard that evening, he'd merged 4 pull requests. And you know what's surprising? He didn't write a single line of code. His AI coding agent did it all while he was in those meetings. And that is not hypothetical, that is a direct quote from inside OpenAI. OpenAI just published a guide showing exactly how their engineering teams use their AI coding agent Codex day to day. And what's inside isn't just interesting for developers, but it's a blueprint for how every company should be thinking about AI-powered work. Quick note, I provide AI strategy consulting for businesses. If anything in this video clicks and you want a roadmap for your business, the link's in the description. Now, here's what OpenAI is actually doing, and more importantly, what this means for you. There's one habit buried in this guide that separates teams who get value from AI from teams who waste money on it, and I'll get to that soon. So here's what OpenAI's own teams are doing with Codex every day. First, scaffolding. When engineers start a new feature, they don't hand build all the boilerplate. They tell Codex to generate the folder structure, the modules, the API stubs, runnable code up fast and no busy work. Second, testing. Engineers point Codex at part of their codebase with weak test coverage, sometimes literally overnight, and wake up to ready-to-review test code. One engineer said, and I'm paraphrasing, I point it at low-coverage modules overnight and wake up to runnable test PRs. Third, codebase exploration. Do you have a new team member? Are you investigating a bug in unfamiliar code? Instead of spending half a day reading documentation, they ask Codex to map out how data flows through a system, trace relationships between services, and surface architecture patterns. Fourth, performance optimization. They use Codex to flag expensive database calls, inefficient loops, and memory-heavy code paths. Codex doesn't just find the problem, but also drafts the fix. And fifth, velocity under pressure. When a launch deadline is tight, Codex handles the smaller but essential tasks. Bug triage, config files, rollout scripts, telemetry hooks. The engineers stay focused on the high-stakes decisions. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for software engineers, but I don't run a tech company. But stay with me here. Now, here's the pattern hiding inside every one of those use cases. It's not about coding, it's about parallel execution. OpenAI's engineers aren't replacing themselves with AI. They're running AI tasks in the background while they do the thinking work that actually requires a human brain. Meetings, architecture decisions, strategic planning, all happening while Codex handles the repetitive execution. And that model applies to every business. If you run an accounting firm, your team could be reviewing client financials while an AI agent drafts standardized reports, flags anomalies, and pre-fills compliance templates. If you run an e-commerce operation, while you negotiate with a supplier, an AI agent could be optimizing product descriptions, categorizing inventory, and drafting customer service responses. The scaffolding, the testing, the exploration, the optimization, those aren't developer-specific concepts. They're workflow patterns, and every business has them. And here's the habit I promised you. The one that separates teams who get value from AI from teams who don't. OpenAI's guide says Codex works best with well-scoped tasks that would take about an hour to complete. Not do everything, not fix my business. One clear task, one clear outcome. The companies burning money on AI, they throw vague prompts at it and expect magic. The companies saving money break work into 1-hour blocks, hand it to AI, and move on to the next decision. AI doesn't replace your team. Instead, it gives every person on your team a set of background workers that handle the predictable stuff while humans focus on judgment, relationships, and strategy. OpenAI is already running their company this way. The question is, when do you start? Everything I broke down today came directly from OpenAI's own internal guide. If you're watching this and thinking, I want to set this up for my team, but I don't know where to start, that's exactly what I help with. I'm opening consulting spots this month for an AI strategic diagnostic. We'll map your operations, identify where parallel AI workflows can save you time and money, and build you a 90-day implementation roadmap. The link to book is in the description below. Comment down below with your industry and I'll tell you the #1 AI workflow you should automate this week. If you enjoyed watching this video, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.